The Miami Dolphins lost a tough one on the road in Indianapolis last week. They now sit at 4-4, still just a game out of first in the AFC East. And I think just about every Dolphins fan prior to the season, if somebody told you heading into Week 10 there'll only be a game out of first in the division, I think you'd have been pretty happy with that news, because remember, prior to this season, nearly everybody, myself included, were picking the Dolphins to be, if not the worst, one of the worst teams in the NFL, and they've just proven everybody wrong. They are a good team. They've been doing it the old-fashioned way. They can run the ball and they can stop the run. The strength of this Miami team is that front seven on defense, third in the NFL right now in rush defense, and the Dolphins are sixth in points allowed, despite the fact they're not very good in the secondary. But I guess points allowed is really the only defensive stat that matters. So you have to be very impressed with the Dolphins defense as a whole. And I'm also very, very impressed with the play of their rookie quarterback, Ryan Tannehill. This guy has been overshadowed all season by fellow rookies Andrew Luck and Robert Griffin III. But that's really not fair, because Tannehill can't do any more. I mean, this guy has been absolutely sensational. Has not thrown an interception in 4 or 5 games now, I believe. It's incredible for a rookie, especially since this is not a game manager situation. This is not like Russell Wilson out in Seattle, where he's throwing for 150 yards a game. They're just asking him not to lose the game for him. Ryan Tannehill is being asked to throw the ball downfield and make plays, and he's been able to do so. 290 passing yards last week against the Colts. And the Colts, the strength of their defense is in the secondary, so that was a really impressive performance. Now, he was outshined a little bit, I guess, by fellow rookie Andrew Luck. So I guess this week anyway, after Luck passed for 433 yards, we can justify Ryan Tannehill being overshadowed by Luck. But don't take anything away from Tannehill and what he's doing. He's progressed as the season has gone along, and he might just be able to lead this Miami team into the playoffs. We'll see. They have a relatively friendly schedule over the second half of the season, beginning with this week, where they host the Tennessee Titans. Now, we talked about Tannehill having a lot of success recently. He will have every opportunity to build on that success in this game, because there's almost no defense in the NFL worse than Tennessee's. I say almost because it's hard to say any defense is worse than New Orleans. We mentioned heading into last week's game, and I guess their stats improved a little bit last week, holding Philadelphia to 13. But New Orleans was giving up 56 more yards per game than any other defense in the NFL. So I can't say Tennessee is the worst defense in the league, but they're right in that neighborhood. They are last in the league in points allowed, 34.2 points per game, the Titans are allowing right now. The game last week did not help that stat. They allowed 51 points in a 31-point loss to the Chicago Bears. After that game, owner Bud Adams issued a statement that I'm not sure if it's the type of statement that's going to really inspire the team. He put everybody in the organization from the top down on notice. And if the Tennessee Titans aren't able to turn this around, I do believe there's going to be a house cleaning in Tennessee. And with the defense as bad as they've been, how can you expect the Titans to turn this around? Now, the Dolphins opened as a 6-point favorite in this game on BETDAQ. And to be honest with you, when I first saw this line, my gut reaction was, that's too many points. The Dolphins, this is the most points they've had to lay all year, and 5 of their 8 games have been decided by 4 points or fewer. So it's a big number for the Dolphins to cover. But Tennessee, they've just been blown out more times than any team in the NFL. Tennessee's lost 6 times to 3-6. One of those losses was a 6-point loss to the Indianapolis Colts. Those other 5 losses, the margin of defeat for Tennessee was 39 points, 23 points, 24, 28, and 21. They just get blown out nearly every time they lose. And another thing that I don't like about the Titans this week is they're apparently starting Jake Locker at quarterback. Now, Locker, the young second-year quarterback who started off this season as Tennessee's starter, has not played the last 5 games, went down with an injury. Matt Hasselbeck, the veteran, has filled in for Locker. Hasselbeck was 2-3 in his 5 starts. And he was up and down, not like he was great, but I do believe that right now, maybe not next year, maybe not at the end of this season, but I believe that right now, Matt Hasselbeck is a better quarterback than Jake Locker, and I think he gives the Titans a better chance to win. But the Titans apparently are going with Locker this week. You know, to me, I cannot see Locker coming off the bench cold. I mean, it's been 5 weeks since he's played a game, and he wasn't that good at the beginning of the season when he was playing. It's hard for me to see Locker coming in on the road, having not played in 5 weeks, and really playing a good game. And if he doesn't play a good game, the Titans are in big, big trouble, because if you're going to attack this Miami defense, you better attack them in the secondary. We talked about their rush defense. Miami is extremely tough on the defensive line and the offensive line for that matter. I expect in this game Miami to dominate in the trenches, which is why I do lean towards the Dolphins -6 here. Again, when I first saw this game, it struck me as too many points. I know the Dolphins have played a lot of close football games, and this is the biggest number the Dolphins have had to lay all year. But the more and more I look at it, the more and more I like the Dolphins. Like I said, I think they're going to dominate this game in the trenches. Tennessee has a terrible defense. 6. Again, the more and more I look at it, the more and more I think about it, I think 6 is a reasonable number here. And I do think I'm going to be getting involved in this game. I do like Miami -6 at home on Sunday.